Yes, hello again, people. Um, yes, I could only give you a little bit of the footage there of part 7 of what's going on in Jamaica, but what I was trying to tell you uh, is that the police, I'm not saying they're perfect, I'm not saying they're brilliant over here in Britain, but as you could see, they stood up orderly. What British people do, what the British government does, is actually scan and watch other countries, how them operate, and how the people then react to the government bodies, how they react to it. Right now, with the Jamaican one, and what we have to say, it was very appalling and disgraceful because number one, Mr. Patterson was doing a speech. It was not a hateful speech. The people were orderly and the people were chanting. And they were chanting, no vaccine, every man should have his right to choose. Shouldn't be mandatory. Okay, so I agree with that anyway, but I was watching and there should not be no brute force by any police grabbing up boys, woman, child, man, a big man and all that, grabbing them up. What for? There was no need for that. That only shows the world when they say that black people are aggressive and they don't think and them irrational. That should never have happened. You speak to the public. You speak to the public nicely. You do not order them because a big man and woman is not children. It's not disobedient children. And no one was breaking the law. You're supposed to have respect for the public, and also in return, the public have respect for you. Now that is the reality of it, and anyone who goes to the police force and thinks otherwise, well, God help them, because they're gonna have a hard and a rough time. Because that's how it is. And yes, you do have bad police, but you do have good ones as well. But unfortunately, we do not hear about the good one them. Unfortunately, we don't hear about the good police them because they are always in the background, always in the shadows. So like for instance, you'll have police where just by coincidence, I would call it, save a life or catch a robber or do something which fits the criteria of their policing. And I'm not only saying in England, I'm saying any part of the world, because police in every part of the world is more or less the same, and you'll have more or less the same stories coming from people. Could be from Mexico, South America, Britain, Europe, anywhere. We will virtually have more or less the same kind of stories to talk about. That's why we know they're very, very, very similar, right? So that's what I wanted to get across. And when the lady was protesting, I know you couldn't hear her voice. I know you couldn't hear her voice, which is a shame, really. But she was saying over her dead body, she would ever make any of her children have a vaccine. She said she's protecting her child even if she has to die for her child. That's what she was saying. She said they're not going to take any vaccine to go to any school. And that's basically, she's very, very passionate and right, because if I had little young ones as well, yes, I'd say no. If I'm not taking it, what the heck is my other children taking it for? No, 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 no. So don't ram it down people's throat. Do not try and bully and convince and use threatening, threatening things to frighten the people. So that they threatening stories as well to frighten the people that they take this thing which they don't really want to take. You see, it is wrong, and I will forever say it is wrong. And God has given us life. God has not given us to say, oh, take this thing and die. No, that is suicide. That's self-infliction. So it's a big no-no. Coronavirus can be cured, can be killed, can be destroyed by natural sources. Even if it's not a natural body, because God has given us the strength, the immune system, and also the trees. I call them the trees of life. Me not talk when the Rastaman said the tree of life. I'm not talking that. I am talking the leaves, the herbs, the things what God has given us, and given man the knowledge to make things like penicillin, which does help and can counteract nearly every germ. Penicillin can do it as well. You see, but they don't talk about penicillin. Penicillin is a very strong antibiotic, right? It can cure quite a few illnesses. Yeah, and unfortunately, because it's not pure, unfortunately, you have reactions to it as well. Yes, we actually have, it can be harmful also. So you see, we have to be careful. But what I do know of our natural herbs and medicines, yes, they take longer to kill the germ, but they kill the germ permanently, and there is no after effect. Unless, the only after effect you have, unless you're allergic to that plant, and we didn't know. But other than that, there is no after effect. It's like sugar cane. You can have sugar cane and chew it up and drink the sap from it and keep drinking it. You can never get diabetes from it. Impossible. Make anybody come up to me and tell me they can get diabetes from sugar cane, I will tell them they are liars. You cannot get nothing from it. You understand? You cannot get nothing harmful from it. It cannot give diabetes. You can eat sugarcane or drink sugarcane all day, all night. Right? It will not harm you. Good. So that is my examples. Now, I've only got a short time because when I was recording, I recorded a 20-minute one on my part 6, and unfortunately, it would not allow me to do the 20 minutes, so I cut it up into sections, and it's up to 15 minutes I can talk. Good. Now, pertaining to everything what is going on in Jamaica, I am keeping a close eye on Jamaica because that's where I live, that's where my people are, and my children, some of my children. And yes, Jamaica land I love. Good. So that just make one thing clear. I don't care if I'm born in England. My people have come from Jamaica. I am happy that they have come from there, and I thank God that we are from there. Praise God and live. That me say. I'm thankful, and I am very, very thankful. You do not burn your bridges of where you come from. It's very stupid. And if anybody you don't like where they come from, you don't like yourself. You don't like yourself. You know what I mean? So big up where you come from. And that's the end of that. That's all I have to say about that. Who have ears, let him hear. If you don't want to hear, that's not my problem. You know what I mean? I'm just talking it like it is. A lot of people say to me, whoa, man, I know you taught this and that. What you talking about, man? God give us tongue and teeth, and they must meet. Good. You understand? You have to talk, and you talk when you feel good. God give you that right. We're not dealing with mankind, you know, because mankind full of sin. God give us the right, freedom of speech to talk, not to hurl abuse, to talk and reason. And if a man can't reason with you, you don't talk to him. Simple as that. If any man can't reason with you, you don't talk to him, because he falls on deaf ears. And I'm not here to try and convince anyone. I'm not here to try and push or ram anything down anyone's throat. Every man has a right of thought. Every man has a right of choice. And every man has a right of freedom and freedom of speech. And every man has a right to live. And every man has a right to protect his family, to protect himself, his family, his household, his livelihood, his lifeline, his descendants, his relatives. Every man has a right. Since I have to go so deep, because unfortunately what is happening is extremism. You see, it's extremism, and that's not nice. You see, what it is, when the government trouble you as a human being, it should never happen. It should never happen. Politics is politics, but don't come with politics. In a pretty, and don't think people are so stupid, that we are so stupid that you can't read between the lines. Sometimes when a man don't want to see something because he's frightened, he see it, but he turn a blind eye, he's frightened. It doesn't mean he doesn't understand, and it doesn't mean that he's stupid. No, most of the people them who you see turn a blind eye, they are scared because the government has made them believe rubbish. You get frightened, and fear belongs to the devil. Stand up. people of God, stand up. If I am alone, I don't expect a dozen people behind me, because how man stay, you will talk and they all say, yes, yes, a true. When it comes to the crunch, are you one standing there? That's why I tell you all the time, I'm talking for myself. And any man which I see on YouTube, talking a big bag of chat and not make one move, then if you come off of YouTube and leave the Jamaican people them alone. Because when I talk about, when it comes to Jamaican people, you should do this, you should do that, what are you doing? In fact, you're not even in the country to net back. You're gone about for your business, but you get harder. If you're so passionate and so real, go over Jamaica and stand your ground with the people them and stop chat. You're a bag of wind. You're an empty vessel. That me I say. That me I say. Stop trying to create problem. If you see problem in Jamaica and you're so passionate, go over there. The only reason why I'm not over there, because they stop me from going over there. And I'm going to tell you how when the time comes. I'm going to tell you how in my speeches. Because it's not right. Every man have a right to travel east, west, north and south. As long as nobody now hunt you down, but you do this and do that. You have the right, commit the crime. People can chat and chat, people how they do this. But why you don't want the main person you talk about, why you don't want them to know what you're talking about? All hush-hush behind the person's back. If someone does something, open their mouth and looking at them face and say, you do it. Simple as that. You don't go behind people's backs and talk. Because those are rumors and lies. And only a fool believes lies. Only fools believe lies and rumors, and they are gossipers and backbiters. That's what you call them. You see? So those who are talking about Jamaica and who are Jamaicans and have no problem in traveling, why are you just talking? What? Just to cause friction? You're supposed to calm down situations. Because at the end of the day, we are fighting, our spirit is a spiritual war, not flesh and blood. Because Satan want to try to get it on your head. You see, if he can frighten you with words, he can frighten you. He can frighten you. And you get confused. But we need to turn to God, talk to God every day of your life. And there's no confusion. Because Father God show you what is what. And when he show you, yes, you do get upset, and yes, you do become passionate. But don't get distorted. Stay on the right path. What he said, they are for war and we are for peace. Remember that. And when a man is for war, can there be peace? We got people of the altar. Them wash themselves because the devil are full up their head with rubbish. And there's a lot of things coming on the net done by Jamaicans which is misleading. Misleading. And I'm going to come on again and I will tell you where and where and where. And I will give you the stories, what they are saying. Okay, so let me just analyze it. Take a few days, then I'll come back on. And you will understand. But you shouldn't have to take me to make you know. Okay? And as for the Prime Minister, boy, I don't know if I said to you, because you really not say nothing no. You know? Your tongue in your mouth, no, you're not saying nothing. Why? And UIC, what happened to you? You not give us no briefing of what's going on. Come on, what's going on? And then PMP are talk about whatever. Listen to me, Uno 3 is a joke. The 3 part of them is a joke. God come first, that's why the throne are confused. God come first, that's why the 3 are confused. Talk the talk and walk the walk. Nobody talk and can't walk. Remember, I told you.